We're Trent Allie, and our cabin in the mountains is coming along.
Fake it till you make it.
That's the name of our game. Almost as well as Trent's culinary skills. Cooked perfectly, gorgeous. But now that we have a new addition,
I have a watermelon in my belly.
things are changing quickly.
And then are you wanting me to tell you the gender?
Today, we're switching it into high gear because suddenly, we have a brand new deadline. Recently, we've been needing to take a little time at the end of most days to just have some self-care, and that has included kind of just zoning out for just like half an hour or so and watching Master Chef with Gordon Ramsay, which we thought was just like an easy turn your brain off and chill out at the end of the day. And turns out it's not. And now we're obsessed with trying to make these intense, delicious, complicated recipes. Trent is very excited this morning to whip up his very first ever absolutely delicious Eggs Benedict.
All right, chef. How's it taste?
I'm just the customer.
All right, customer.
This poached egg is cooked perfectly. Inside you can see the egg yolk is running out.
Lord.
Gorgeous, gorgeous cook. It's how Gordon Ramsay would say it. Now, obviously the consistency of your hollandaise sauce is terrible.
Thank you.
But let's see if the flavors are there.
You like it?
I would serve that at any one of my restaurants.
Not bad for my first time, huh?
Yeah. Maybe this is a sign that you should cook breakfast for me more often.
Yeah. Once we actually have a real kitchen and we're not cooking in a camp trailer, I'll be chefing it up. Today we are going to be finishing the exterior foam and rock wool and furring strips. I really wish I could say that we're gonna like finish doing it on the house, but I know it's gonna take multiple days. Also, I'm gonna take you outside here in a second and you're gonna see how absolutely beautiful of a day it is outside. And today, it's forecasted to rain for most of the middle of the day. So we're gonna get to work bright and early. We're gonna get as much of that exterior foam done as we can, and then we are gonna head inside and maybe start cleaning out the basement? I don't really know. Anyway, I'm ready to get started today. Let's get out there.
Oh, good dogs.
Both dogs are here.
That's
They've been gone for an hour, but they're back now.
Oh my gosh, just on an adventure.
Our dogs have always, well, Frank has always been really well behaved and he's always listened really well. And he's never gone too far. I mean, he would like roam around in the bushes and look for like squirrels to eat, I guess. I don't know. But it's always been no problem. And now that we've got Lika, Frank will just take off and we'll be like yelling and calling and trying to get him to come back.
It got way worse after we visited Oso. I think Oso was giving Frank some secrets on how to escape and go on an adventure.
You get far enough away, you can just go.
Frank was like,
You don't
what?
even have to come back.
Frank's like, but I'm so cute. How can you be mad at me? I'm embracing it. I've decided I don't care. My pants do not fit anymore. I'm not that pregnant, and I'm just gonna embrace that fat, pregnant life. And you guys can all just deal with it with me, because I'm not gonna change.
You're not even any bigger. You literally look exactly the same. Just wait till you're like
Thank
8
you.
months pregnant and you're
Best
gonna be
husband.
like, oh my gosh, I have a watermelon in my belly.
I'm just gonna wear leggings because my jeans don't fit anymore, and I am choosing to be okay with that.
Now begins the era of stretchy pants.
It's hard because we put ourselves out there in public and we watch ourselves on camera during editing and all this stuff, so you're like hyper aware of how you look. And we get comments and emails of Allie's butt's too big, you know, random things. And it's hard.
Nobody says that for the record.
It's hard to not let that affect you, but it's fine. Everything's fine. I feel good. So far, everything else is good. We have a doctor's appointment this week, and hopefully things are smoother and happier and calmer. And we're just gonna move on and keep building this house. Frank has figured out that the best way to get Lika to ignore him is just to play dead. So anytime she comes over and wants to wrestle and bite his face, he just lays down and ignores her completely. And she gets frustrated and just walks away. I'm sorry, Frank. One day you'll appreciate her, I promise.
I set out on a road that I built with my own two hands. I met friends on the way, people chosen to make a stand.
This is just a corner piece. So what happens is when you have the corner of the building and you're putting your furring strips on, the foam gets pushed out one direction and then gets pushed out the other direction. And if you put a furring strip on the corner, you try and send a screw through there, it just goes into the foam. So you have to have something that's wider than 3 inches that can actually hit some studs, some corner studs, and this goes on the corner of the foam, and then you screw it in all the way up.
I see.
And then it becomes the corner that you mount your trim on, and then your siding lands next to that.
It's a good thing you know what you're doing, Trent. I wouldn't
don't.
have done that.
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Fake it till you make it.
That's the name of our game.
Heating up.
Yeah, it feels great.
And I know it feels great, but I know that just means that the storm is coming.
The warm before the storm.
It is on its way, and 12:19. We got an hour and 41 minutes till it's supposedly supposed to start raining. We've got most of the polyiso foam up over here. We've got one of the furring strips. I've got the corner cut. We just got to get the corner installed
Cool.
and then just start knocking it out. I think before it starts raining, at least, we should have this finished.
Cool. Okay. It's finally warm enough that it's not snowing anymore. It used to just snow anytime it rained, and in lower elevations it would just be snow here and not rain. And then yesterday there was this gorgeous summer thunderstorm with lightning and thunder and a huge rainbow. And it wasn't even dark out, but it was pouring rain. Such a beautiful part of summer to me. And it feels like that's exactly what's gonna happen this afternoon, which I'm not upset about.
I could never settle down too far away from my hometown. With my family I am bound. I stick by them till I'm in the ground.
So I know we've gotten a lot of comments of people saying, aren't we worried about the insulation absorbing water and absorbing the rain, and that this wood isn't treated or pressure treated or stained or sealed? It's just raw wood. And generally, if you just left wood on the outside of your house, the sun and the moisture and the water and everything would cause it to decay over time. The thing is, this wood is going to be encased by siding. And the core vent allows it to actually dry and evaporate and dry out properly so that it's not going to rot. And it's going to be extremely rare that water ever even gets through the siding. But in the event that it does, it can dry because of the rain screen. The air can come in through the core vent. It can go up behind the siding, come out the soffit vents. Everything can dry. You don't have to worry about any of the wood getting moldy or decaying or anything like that. Also, rock wool is mold proof, it's waterproof, it's water repellent. You can literally soak this in a bucket of water and it will hold a little bit of the water, but it won't absorb it, it won't rot, it won't decay, and it will evaporate and it will dry out. Yeah, it's coming.
Thunder.
Dang it.
All right.
Thunder.
I was born! I'm excited. I don't know if you've even heard thunder yet. This might be, well, actually yesterday it was thunderstorming. Thunder is beautiful. We like thunder. It's not scary. It's okay. Right, Frank? Frank's like, yeah, I don't care about thunder. I don't really care about anything as long as there's food.
Big black cloud is coming down. Fallen angels all around. A warm breeze from the subway underground. The snow is falling heavily over town.
It's a gloomy day out here if we haven't mentioned that already, but check this out. Boom!
Yay!
We got furring strips, we got framed out windows, we got all the rock wool and the foam done on this side of the house, which isn't a big section, but I'm glad we got it done. Now the whole front of the house and this side of the house, minus that section up there, is done. And the bottom section on the other side of the house is done, so we may be halfway. We might be halfway done with the exterior foam. So I think by the end of the week, we could probably finish doing all this. We might have permanent power by then, and who knows, we didn't get around to it today, but we might even have our sheetrock ordered by then. We're gonna do a little bit of work in the basement, cleaning out all of the firewood and all the extra wood and stuff that's down there and putting it under the deck. We're gonna do that before we call it a day.
Oh, it is dark down here.
Lika just figured out that she can just jump right in and out of this basement window, and I think this is our new doggy door. We just need, instead of this little hand crank, we just need a smart switch right there. So like 8 a.m. it just like opens up and the dogs can go and run away like they've been doing lately.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right, so we're gonna bust this out. It's dark down here, and since we don't have our power hooked up anymore, we gotta work in the dark. We're gonna remove all this firewood. We're gonna get all this extra lengths of wood that's down here on the floor, move it all outside, and then hopefully be able to organize and clean and sweep and get the basement into a nice, clean environment.
We're going under, and there's nothing we can do. You've become me, and I've become you. In this story.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. The guys are gonna finish cleaning up a little bit more in the basement. And I'm gonna hang out in here with the dogs so they don't get super soaking wet. And then I think we're just gonna enjoy this rain together. How's it looking in the basement?
Really messy.
How's it outside?
You know, it never actually rains in Utah like it does anywhere we went in Central and South America.
Oh, that's
so
very
like
true, yeah.
when it's like, oh, it's gonna be a crazy storm, you're out there and you're like, I'm not even really getting wet. It's just like momentary drops are touching me where like,
Well, after you spend rainy season in Southern America, nothing can compare to that.
yeah, seriously, rainy season in Central America was rough.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, hopefully we can get the basement cleaned out. The rest, like we got all the big stuff out of there, so now it's just like shoveling out the bark and like sweeping and vacuuming and getting it all like really tuned up down there. Then we'll be able to move everything into the basement, organize the rest of the house,
Nice.
finish the exterior foam,
And get drywall.
do the sheetrock, paint, cabinets, appliances. There's still a lot of stuff to do.
I feel like so much has been changing in the last few weeks, and one thing I'm really worried about changing is my skin, and that's why I try to take really good care of it. And luckily, that's super easy with Function of Beauty's skincare products, and Function of Beauty is the sponsor of today's video. I've been using Function of Beauty's hair care and skincare products for months, and they're incredible. Their customized skincare is designed to pinpoint your specific skincare goals, and my nightly routine keeps my skin even, smooth, and healthy. The serum is my absolute favorite, with ingredients like hyaluronic acid and blue-green algae to promote an even tone, and kiwi extract and azelaic acid to help fade discolorations. It's nourishing, absorbs quickly, and is formulated with clean, powerful ingredients that are vegan with no GMOs, parabens, or sulfates. And just like that, I'm ready for bed. My face feels so fresh and clean. And if you guys want to check out Function of Beauty's skincare products, you can click our link in the description and you'll get 20% off your own custom serum and a free spa headband, which I highly recommend. Thanks again to Function of Beauty for sponsoring today's video. We'll see you guys in the morning. we just do this all day today? Oh, it poured for like 5 seconds last night, which is great because it's super dry, it's not muddy, which is amazing, and we have a lot of work to do today. Also, I went and got a sun shirt so I can wear this. It's super light and sun deflective. What would you say?
Sunburn proof.
Sunburn proof. Because I definitely don't want to get too much sun exposure, even though a little bit is good. I don't want to get burnt. And up here, we're like right next to the sun, so if you just walk outside, you get blasted, and normally you get very, very burnt very quickly. So today, we're going to let Trent and Brandon get to work, and I am going to hang out with the dogs and just snuggle, and I'll see you later.
It's really nice that it is so dry up here that lots of times when it rains, the dirt and everything is usually so dry and powdery that it has to like really, really, really rain for it to be muddy. Normally it'll rain and it just kind of like dampens the dust. It's like not even enough to make the dirt or the mud stick to your boots, which is really great, and that's pretty much what happened yesterday. And now by this morning, it's pretty much completely dry again and really dusty. So we're happy about that. Another thing that we've been talking about a little bit lately is taking down the shelter logic. Now the shelter logic goes over the top of Terry and protected us from the snow and wind, and I just don't even remember what it's like to not be living inside a big white glowing bubble. Like, if we open up the windows, it's just, like, that's our view. It's just like a glowing whiteness around the trailer, and I don't even remember what it's like to be able to look out the window and actually, like, see what's going on outside the shelter logic.
It's a debate, though, because if we take the shelter logic off, then we are super exposed, and probably it will heat up a lot faster in Terry, whereas right now it's kind of like a protective sunshade. We can roll up the sides of the shelter logic, and maybe that will create some airflow, but still kind of shelter us from any major rainstorms or just like the crazy amount of heat and sun that blasts on us every day. So while I would love to have a view and not just look outside at like a white tarp, we're kind of trying to figure out like maybe it's worth it to just leave the shelter logic on until we move into the house.
But today, Brandon and I are going to continue turning our house into a Yeti cooler. All right, so we just came out here to get started, and Brandon was being extremely productive in here. He came in with the broom. He moved all these boxes and supplies over to the edge of the room, our spare windows, and he sweeped everything out, and then I helped him shovel everything into this bag. Look at the basement. It looks incredible down here. Not to mention, it literally feels like the inside of a refrigerator because it's just like cold down here. The concrete is really cold, and it's super well insulated, the roof and the walls, so the temperature down here will probably maintain 45 degrees or whatever it is down here. It's chilly. We'll actually be ready to start moving a lot of the stuff from upstairs down here, and that's where it can be until the house is done. Really excited about that. Also, now we have ample room for our cabinets that need to come from Home Depot. But anyway, I think Allie's gonna come in here and start vacuuming. Brandon and I are gonna get up on top of the sunroom, start doing the gable roof up there. It's gonna be a little nerve-wracking because we're gonna be on a ladder on top of a 412 pitch, trying to get all the way up to the 26-foot tall peak. And I'm not excited for that, but we gotta do it. So let's get to work.
There's nothing wrong with that. Dripping, yeah, we all lose track. I wouldn't mind it if I find it.
So now they're moving to the opposite side of the house to hopefully get this part finished. We've already started it because we needed to mount the shutoff box for the power and a couple other fittings. So this should go really quickly.
The only problem is that we got half of our rock wool shipment to Brandon's house like 2 or maybe 3 weeks ago, I can't remember. And the other half was supposed to be delivered last week, and it didn't show up. And they scheduled it for a week from tomorrow. So we still have another week before more rock wool shows up. We could go get more white foam, but we're gonna run out of both today.
If I find it.
So we just did all the blood work for genetic testing, Down syndrome, other chromosomal defects for the baby. And I think these are the results.
This is Katrina.
Hi Katrina, this is Allison. I just got your voicemail and wanted to call you back. How are ya?
So we got your panorama results back.
Okay.
which indicate low risk. That's good. That's
Okay.
what we want to see.
Okay.
And then are you wanting me to tell you the gender?
No, please keep that a secret. All right. Well, that's great news. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. That's a huge relief. I've been feeling okay, but of course, this whole first trimester has been really bumpy so far and just really nerve-wracking. And every time I get excited and start to relax, it seems like something terrible happens and we get plummeted back down into a huge emotional roller coaster, honestly. And so the fact that all of the blood work results came back as low risk, it doesn't mean that they're 100% positive, but they're pretty sure things are developing correctly and normally, and there aren't any chromosomal or genetic defects that we need to worry about. It's just one more thing in the right direction that means we have a little bit more peace of mind and we can breathe a little bit easier.
When lights go out, you're in my mind. I close my eyes, so it's just you and I tell myself you'll be back again.
It's a good day. It's a really good day. And so far, these guys are crushing it. The whole bottom is done. And look at this. They're almost to the top of 1/3 of the upper part. I'm gonna let them focus because it is a little nerve-wracking watching Trent do this. I can't imagine what it must be like to actually do it yourself. So I'm gonna let them work in peace, and I'm gonna finish restacking all this firewood that needed to be moved out of the basement to its new permanent home right here.
I think we have decided or figured out that, I don't know if you remember, but where that wood pile where we're stacking all of the wood,
Yeah.
when we had the man lift here when we were doing the roof sheathing, we had to park the man lift like right there in order to boom up this side of the house.
Okay.
And I think in order to do the roof and the siding on this side of the house, we're gonna have to do that again. So that wood pile cannot go there. And I know that you just got done stacking like half the wood pile there, but at least it wasn't the whole wood pile.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Why didn't we think about this before?
Just take all that wood and put it back where it's at.
Oh.
Sorry.
My goodness. Okay, well, it makes sense. I mean, obviously we need siding and a roof more than we need firewood, especially during the summer. We just cannot figure out a good place for where this firewood can permanently be stacked and stored. I think I've successfully removed enough of the firewood stack that was beautifully stacked, if I might add, away from where we'll need to pull the man lift up to the side of the house to get the siding and the roof on. So if I wasn't convinced before that these guys were just creating useless tasks for me to make me feel like I was important and contributing, I'm definitely convinced now. So instead of just kind of watching and biting my nails while they're up there really high up by the roof line, finishing up the exterior foam, I'm gonna head inside and maybe make some food. The secret to a delicious caprese on a nice warm summery afternoon is balsamic glaze, not balsamic vinegar. It makes a huge difference, my dear.
I wish you made some for you.
Save me one.
Bellissimo.
Molto bene. So I got a phone call today
You did.
from the doctor. And last week we did all of the NECESSITIES blood work, which is a whole panel of detecting different chromosomal and genetic defects that might be present in the developing fetus, as well as the test for the gender.
And it's not a boy or a girl. I can already tell by your facial expressions that everything's fine.
And everything's fine!
Healthy baby, here we come.
And the nurse was like, would you like to know the gender of your baby? And I was like, I mean, yes, but don't tell me, don't tell me. I feel like we've been on this roller coaster for so long now that neither of us are willing to like really get excited anymore, because every time we get super excited, bad things start to happen. And so we're just trying to be mellow, steady Eddie, take things one day at a time. And this is super good news. And we're both really happy about it, but maybe we're not going to celebrate too much because there's still a lot of pregnancy left. And on that note, we have a doctor's appointment in the morning, and I think we'll see you guys then.
Come and leave the world behind. Dream up something new. You never know what we might find when you're with me and I'm with you. I'm with you.
It is my 12-week prenatal checkup. We are really hoping that everything goes nice and smooth, and maybe one of these days we can stop worrying a little bit less and just hear that everything is perfectly normal. Hopefully that's today.
Let's get in the car and you'll drive. We're leaving tonight. Away from these streets and the cold buzzing neon light.
Look at those shorts. Look at your legs. It's the first time of the season.
Look at that in the video. Oh, it's nice to have a checkup and not a rescue emergency like ultrasound.
Yeah.
So we're happy today.
Happier time than it was.
I know, it's great. It's not an emergency, it's just a checkup.
Not an emergency.
We try to find our ways in life to give our hearts and soul a peace of mind.
So Allison had quite the scare, but everything looks great for her baby. Yay.
Weighing me today?
But I can hold you in it longer.
Yes, that has changed.
Hello.
How we doing, guys?
Good, how are you?
I feel great. You're kidding, that's scary.
It was like a big, yeah, so we freaked out. But we're good.
We were convinced by multiple people that
Convinced by those people that what? That you'd miscarry?
Yeah.
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hey, at least I'm breathing.
That's a profile, a heartbeat, and 2 hands.
I know
Maybe like grabbing the cord. See
It's
these fingertips? No, nothing
a
He's a control freak.
See, you can see little fingertips.
been looking for a sweet song.
Gosh.
Well, that is awesome. You can even see eye sockets and jawline right there.
It's beautiful.
'Cause I've been spending all my time to figure out just how. I've been spending way too many thoughts on what went wrong. But what goes
All right, how do you feel, Mom?
I mean, we just gained a week, basically. This baby was due December 3rd, and now it's tracking so well that they've changed due dates to November 28th. So I'm actually not 11 and 6 days, I'm 12 and 4 days right now.
Yeah, the plot thickens. That's only about 3 days after Thanksgiving, which means if Allie tries to eat a fat turkey dinner, we're having a Thanksgiving baby.
See what, oh, there's a head. That's cool. Crazy. Yay! What's scary is that they said my recommended weight gain is 35 to 37 pounds.
Yeah, I know you're scared of that.
I'm scared.
I don't really mind. I mean, she's gonna be pregnant. But anyways, I think that's probably gonna do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you show us by giving us a big thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already.
We're so excited to have such good news, and hopefully it's just smooth sailing from here on out. Thank you again to Function of Beauty for sponsoring today's video. Click the link in our description to check them out.
And we'll see you guys.
Adios!
I'll never leave your side, I'll never